strengths are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. We find the methods used by others are suitable to our social environment, we shall adopt or adapt them. This mid-20th century is Africa's.
This is an exhibition about tropical modernism. We're looking at the colonial origins of tropical modernism, situating it against the power struggles of the time, the anti-colonial struggle of the time. But we're looking at how the style, which was an adaptation of international modernism to the tropics, survived the transition to independence and became something very new in the process, mixing vernacular with the sort of Le Corbusian modernism. Tropical modernism originated in British West Africa. It was very much the invention of two British architects, Maxwell Fry and Jane Drew, who brought, as they said, an apparatus of thought to West Africa. They built buildings with brise-soleil, louvres, wide eaves, all designed to sort of control the harsh, hot, humid climate of the tropics and essentially make colonial administrators more comfortable. In West Africa, they built a range of school and administrative buildings paid for by the Commonwealth and Development Fund's £200 million allocation to the colonies to modernise them and also strengthen ties to the metropolis at a time when the empire was beginning to fall apart. And they had opportunities to build in West Africa that they wouldn't have had at home. And it essentially became a laboratory for colonial architects to experiment in ways that they wouldn't have been able to do in Britain.
It's really important to reflect on the legacy of these buildings created in the tropical style in West Africa, and particularly our context looking at Ghana, because these are buildings that form a significant part of Ghanaian heritage and Ghanaian history, but they're also can be perceived as things from the colonial past. And I think it's really important that we analyse, look at these buildings, and understand also the shared nature of that history. Our exhibition is trying to recontextualise these buildings, what they are currently, how they stand today, what they're used for today.
The main volume of the pavilion contains a 3-screen film featuring tropical modernist buildings that we shot in Ghana earlier this year, accompanied by high life music by E.T. Mensah, who described high life as indigenous music played with foreign instruments, and that's rather like what happens with the architecture. You have an indigenous style played with foreign instruments, concrete, all the language of international modernism.